and welcome back to another video from the Minecraft Let's Play series, where I have been, well, not hard at work, but I've been at work at least. I've just been doing a few bits and pieces around the dock area that we popped in last time. You can see I have put in a crane up there. That's just to try and make it make a little bit more sense in this sort of area. So if this is where the blocks are all being stored, then we need to have a way to get them from here down to the other side where they can be loaded onto ships. And so I've got that crane there just to be able to bring those big pieces down to the bottom so they can be moved around, because there's no way people will be able to get them up and down this staircase. From there then, those can be taken around the corner, and I have started on a little bit of a sort of harbour pier type thing area over here, where boats will be able to come in and dock if they're coming in from the village down on the other side, or any of the other regions that we'll go off and build in later on. This will just be the area where they can dock when they're staying at the island. And I think I'm happy with the size of this pier at the moment. It's not the biggest in the universe, but in all honesty, neither is the island. This isn't exactly a massive area. I think that would be fine for having two boats being able to come in on either side, and then the crane would be able to service both of them. But mucking about in the harbour is not my plan for today. In fact, I am pretty happy with how this area is looking, for now at least. There's only a few bits and pieces around here I particularly want to do, namely putting something here. This is a strange and rather random gap to have. There needs to be something built just here. They would definitely use this space. And with it being so close to the harbour itself, maybe something like a guard tower would look good here. In fact, if I did something like that, what I could do is, because I've got the little sort of homeless shantytown around the side, it could spread around and then maybe tuck up next to the building that I put there, assuming it's not going to take up any more of than that sort of footprint area. Probably, but that needs to be thought about a little bit more. Anyway, for now, right, let's run back over to the tunnel that we made last time. Yes, you lot all need to go because you're far too blooming noisy, and this is the direction you're going to be going in. I want to get a bridge built between these two spots so that I can get over to that village much more easily, and then maybe even in the future think about having a train running down here. And certainly before we get onto trains or anything like that in the distant future, I need to get that bridge built. So we have got one bridge completed just over here. What I've done is I've just taken those pillars down into the water so that it's actually connected down at the bottom. And I think that connects up this island with what's going to be the city quite nicely. And you can see where we're starting to just get a little bit of a change in style. Up at the top there, it's going to be very much more fancy than it is down here, and certainly not run down anymore. And they would be maintaining their houses above top of the tunnel just as much as they would maintain everything else that's up there. So I want it to be not too grand, because at the end of the day it is just an entrance above a tunnel, that's all it's going to be. And also I've got the slight problem that's most certainly highlighted. In fact, so far all I've managed to find is one tiny little area down underground where I can go mine it up. But do you know what? That poor horse has been over there in the water since I started this project, and I think I'm going to fish it out. That poor thing has been stuck in there forever. It must be absolutely sodden. So I'm going to go and grab a saddle and I'm going to fish him out. Right, okay, one saddle in tow, and I've also bought a lead as well, because I have no idea if you can actually tame horses while they are floating in the water. So this will be an interesting thing to find out. Let's go and see if this horse is in the mood to play. Horsey! Right, hello. Are you any good is also going to be the next question, of course. Can I tame you with you being there? Or are you just going to sink? Oh, come on. Hey, there we go. That was reasonably quick. Right. One saddle. Oh, of course, now you're going to blow and sink, aren't you? Oh, right. Okay. Come on. Come on. Back on the land. Back on the land. Come over here. Then, if you've got a reasonable jumping distance, you might be able to get yourself out. Right. Let's have a look at you. Alright, fine. Never mind. Forget that. We'll lead you to land the other way. Oh, where's me lead? Right. Come on, you. Let's take you back to land. Right, okay. Come on. Up you get, up you get. Let's get that off you, and then pick that up, and then... oh, you don't seem too bad. This is a reasonably fast horse. Nice. Okay, well, fine. Spot. I think we'll call you Spot. You can be the new travel horse. That's fine. Okay, so let's go and have a little look through here. So yeah, as you can see, this is going very much with a newish sort of style, and in the tunnel itself, I haven't done the floor yet. I do have a few holes that need patching up, but I have boxed this now right the way through, so it will go through to the village on the other side. Although I am noticing now that that is a too wide gap, and I'm not going to be able to fit in with a horse. Let's go up here. Right, so if we run over here, what we should find is that that tunnel is going to come out on this side, and what I will probably do is extend it through with exactly the same style of tunnel that we've already used. The important thing is we are now able to get to the village. My God, it's such a long since I was last here, I've forgotten what the place actually looked like. Right, come on, Spot. Let's go and dump you somewhere. You can come over here and wait for me. Right, you wait there. So, now, one thing that I have decided to do is I've decided to add Farmer's Delight onto the pack. With us being in a nice new farming area with all the different crops that we can get from Farmer's Delight, I think it's going to really help us out with getting some good immersion in this land. Not only because of that as well, of course they do give us these lovely baskets and things, which means that we can condense down vegetables and crops and all sorts, just to make storing them a little bit easier. I also want to get the villagers bred up around here, and as a matter of some urgency, I'm going to need one of my first projects to be making some limestone as well, for which we are going to be needing bees. And so that does mean though that plans are afoot over here, and I think the first thing I'm going to do is get a little bit established over here with where I want things like crops to be, maybe even putting up a new building, and I do need to go to sleep as well. Did I bring a bed over here? Go on. Oh, no, of course I didn't bring a bed over here. Of course I don't have one in my inventory. Right, where was that farmer going? Farmer, you're not keeping your house. Did you come in here? Oh, I know. Life sucks when you're a little villager. But never mind. But I do think the very first thing we need to do is make a nice little starter house over there on that hill behind me. I fancy having an elevated position in this village. I think I want to be able to look down upon the villagers as they do their work. And so, first things first, need to go and gather some materials. Okay, right, so here we are back at the harbour. Well, next to the harbour, certainly. Let's have a little look. Have we got any clay? Ooh, why, yes we do. Okay, so that should be enough terracotta to keep us going. I'll just take a few clay balls, and I could do with getting hold of some bricks as well. Ow. Right, let's have a little look and see. Hopefully, I should have some bricks to take with me, because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up the starter base over there, and then from there, I will decide where the rest of the village is going to be planned around. I have not got very many bricks. Okay, how about wood? Ooh, supplies are a little bit low. Okay, this is going to take a little bit longer than first expected, so I think I'm going to sleep. With a horse in the room, of course. At least Spot can't wander off from here. And then I'll gather up all the rest of the stuff and go back and build myself a little starter base. And with the power of editing, there we go. One starter base all built up and, yeah, floating at the moment. I need to do a little bit of terraining around here. But if I just hop up here, and we ignore the fact that it is one block up at the moment because I haven't put the floor down, What I wanted to show you is this has got a little bit more storage than the last base had. Should be able to fit a few more bits and pieces in here. But the big thing is, because we are up on a hill at the moment, I'm hoping to use underneath here as a sort of workhouse, workshop, storage, all of that sort of thing all combined, because there's none of the create contraptions in here like I had in the old one. I've also got access up to the roof, and if I just run around up here, I can come up onto the roof and have a bit of a look around. I'll be able to see out where all the rolling farms and fields are going to be. I've got a bit of a garden up here. And I've also got access and a viewpoint down to the village as well. Oop, and there's Spot. I've left him in that little pen over there. Which is another point, actually. I have made Spot a little stable down here too. That is just there, so I'll be able to ride him in and then hop off him and come straight into the building. When the terrain gets fixed, of course. But eventually he'll be able to live in here. I did just want to have a think, though, about the actual terrain in this area, because one of the things that really attracted me to this village is how nicely laid out it is. It is across all of these lovely different layers, a bit like a big layered cake or something, and I want to make sure that I preserve that. I've got this nice cliff down here, and cliffs going up there, and I want to make sure that these are preserved and also accentuated a little bit, just to make them a little bit more sort of cliffy looking. So certainly cliff along the base of there, and just to make it sort of tying in with each other quite nicely. And another thing, though, to point out about this area is that we've got to remember that we have got access to brass now. So while, yes, I'm going to need to bring in a lot of the new farms here, one farm at least for every crop certainly, it's worth remembering that because we've got brass, those farms don't need to be small anymore. We can make some absolutely massive ones. So I've done a little bit of thinking of what I want around here. So I definitely want a dye farm, a honey farm, better storage, and the combination of warehouse and train station. Because I really don't want to have to be ferrying goods to and from the island all the time. I want to be able to just send a train off, it will pick stuff up for me and then bring it back. I also want to make sure that we've got farms for every single one of the different crops, as well as wheat, bakery, windmill, that sort of thing, just to decorate the area up nicely. And maybe tree farms, although tree farms are definitely a maybe for around here. For one thing, I don't have all of the trees yet. And the other thing is that if this area is being used for crops, would you really waste the land to grow trees as well? Probably not, so I might just keep using the island for trees. But this jerk has decided to jump in my bed, so I'm going to kick him out and sleep and see if I can get rid of this rain. Move. Do you know what? I think that is actually exactly the same farmer as last time, isn't it? Yeah, I stole your bed and brought it in here. Oh, I'll make you another one. But aside from getting badly distracted by the prospect of all the different farms that we can put around here, the first job definitely needs to be sorting the terrain out around that house so it doesn't look quite so ridiculous. Okay, right, exciting moments are afoot. Hard to believe it, I know, but oh, don't look at that. That's a work in progress. Don't look yet. It is definitely not finished, and at the moment it is super ugly, so just ignore it. There is a guy down here. Oh no, he's invisible. Can I still see you? Are you there? Are you there? Where are you? There? You're there. Jungle saplings! Oh, thank you very, very much. Oh, I have been looking for jungle saplings for ages and ages. Jungle, mangrove, those are the only trees I still need. Oh, thank you so much, little man, and your strange, bouncing, dancing llama. I'll leave you there now, and I will go and secrete these somewhere safe, if I can get out. And there we go. Oh, jungle saplings. Brilliant. Okay, so I am a little bit further on with getting a bit of a vibe going for what this area is going to look and feel like. And what I'm thinking is that these guys are going to be very different from the ones who moved onto the island. They may have come from the island over to here eventually, or maybe they started from here and migrated over there. Not too sure which yet, but these guys do not have the engineering prowess of the guys on the island. So what I'm thinking is that they are more like gardeners. These are people who are living better with the land rather than trying to engineer everything around it. They're not going to have such an impact on the land, despite the fact that they are going to be obviously building up on top of cliffs and things like that. So I don't want to, for example, turn this into a brick wall or anything like that that makes it look like they've had a major impact in the area. And I've had a pretty good go at making a cliff. Cliffs are definitely not one of my strong points, and it's not too bad, I don't think. It's also not finished. It needs to go around this corner at some point, but I need to just eye it up and have a bit of a think and decide whether or not I like this block palette. Obviously at the moment we are sticking with the same sort of grey stone that's around the other side on the island as well, because I don't suppose stone is going to have changed all that much in the distance that we've gone to, so I didn't want to go to anything like granite or anything like that. For now we might as well stick as normal stone, plus it does give us the most variation of different blocks to use in a grey palette. And I don't think it's bad. I think I'm reasonably happy with this at the moment. But yes, so the area, I want it to look lush and lived in, and like these people are managing plants rather than they are managing buildings and walls and stuff. I've also done a little bit of work up at the top. I've terraformed all of this land going up, which definitely needs to have a much quicker path than that, because it would drive me crazy if I've got to do that all the time. But I've done a little bit of work inside the starter base too. Step 1, I've put down a floor. I think it's still rustic enough to work with the people in the area, but just smart enough to make it look like maybe the mayor lives here or something. Here is Spot. Hello Spot, you've got a nice big fat brown nose. He is perfectly happy in his little stable over here. He can easily come outside, and I can easily jump over this fence in order to go off and ride him into the distance. And easily leaving as well, and I've done a little bit of sorting out the storage. So I've not done anything too fancy. At the moment I am just bringing stuff over slowly from the island to here and filling all of this up. And I'm at that awkward phase, you know, that one where you don't quite live here, you don't quite live there, you're not too sure what you need to bring with you, what you can leave on the other side, you don't know what's going to be too annoying to be without or go and fetch more of. It's just, well, that kind of annoying moment where you feel like you're living out of boxes, which I suppose we ultimately do in Minecraft. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to install a little system here where I've got, you know, one hole going down and one hole with a bubble vator coming back up again, just to make getting into this house a little bit easier, because at the moment it is a slight pain having to keep running all the way around there, and it's a bit too far down for me to just drop off. But if I can install a door down here, then I'll be able to just run in, bubble up, get stuff, and then come straight back down again. Nice and easy. Now, here's a quick question for you. These guys over here are lovely, wonderful, wandering traders. Do they ever actually sell the seeds that you get from things like Farmer's Delight? I am really hoping I am not going to have to go on a massive, great big wander to go and find cabbage seeds. I mean, don't get me wrong, I will gladly go get them, but it would be nice if these guys would sell them instead to me. It saves me having to go and find, as I say, cabbage seeds. But for now, I think that's where I'm going to leave this episode. I need to do an awful lot of walking around and around and around this building, deciding whether or not I really do like this style or not, before I commit to it for the rest of the village. And so, I'm going to say happy Minecrafting everyone, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye!